So sorry, dear devotees. We have to address this problem every time the class is disconnected. And okay, I think so. I've resumed the YouTube also now. And we'll continue. I'll share my... Sorry about that. Okay, we were discussing this, right? So, Shad Aishwarya Purno Ya Iha Bhagavan Saswam Ayam Na Chaitanya Krishna Jagati Paratattvam Param Iha. So, there is no greater truth. Na word refers to Paratattvam, Jagati Paratattvam Param Iha. That he is the absolute truth and no greater truth, no other truth is greater or equal. Paratattvam Paramiya, or is equal to him. So that's how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains this third Mangalacharan verse. But then he continues in explaining this third Mangalacharan verse. So he says the three aspects of the supreme absolute truth. In the previous verse, we saw he explains these three aspects: Brahman, Antaryami Paramatma, and Shadaishwarya Purno Bhagavan. And that all these three is actually Shri Krishna, who has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga, and there is no truth that is greater than or equal to him. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains these three aspects. We know from Srimad Bhagavatam also, there is a verse, Vadanti tat tat vidas, tattvam tat jnanam advayam, brahmeti paramatmeti, bhagavan iti shabdai. And in that line only, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he composes, he says, Brahma Atma Bhagavan Anuvadatina Anga Prabha Amsha Sarupatina Vidya Chinha. That this Brahman, this impersonal Brahman, this Atma, that is Paramatma, that is the super soul, the localized Paramatma, and Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. These are the three subjects. And this Brahma refers to Brahman, that is, refers to Anga Prabha, refers to the glowing effulgence. Atma, Paramatma, refers to Amsha aspect, the partial manifestation. And Bhagavan refers to his own Sarupa, the original form. And these three are the three predicates. So subject and the predicate. In English, we have this, right? The subject is there and the predicate is there. About the Supreme Lord, and then about somebody, subject is about somebody, and then explanation about that subject. So here the subject is Brahman, Atma, and Bhagavan, and their predicate is that Brahman is nothing but Anga Prabha. Paramatma, Atma, is nothing but Amsha of that Supreme Lord, the localized manifestation, and Bhagavan is nothing but his own original Swarup. And these are the three predicates. Then he says, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, Vishnu Paratattva, Purna Jnana Purna Nanda Parama Mahatattva. So that Bhagavan is that Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is the Samam Bonam of all the pervading Vishnu. He is all perfect, he is all knowledgeable, and he is in all perfect bliss, Satchit Ananda. And he is the Supreme Transcendence. Krishna, that same Krishna, who is Shadaishwarya Purna, and who is the Samam Bonam, and who is perfect, all knowledgeable, and in all perfect bliss. That same Krishna comes as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Nanda Sutta Bali Jana Bhagavate Gai, Say Krishna Avatina Chaitanya Gosai. That Nanda Sutta, that's son of Nanda Maharaj, Lord Shri Krishna, Chara Bhagavate Gai, whose glories are sung in Srimad Bhagavatam. That same Nanda Sutta, that same Krishna has avatirna, has now descended on this earth as Chaitanya Gosai, as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains about the Brahman. Just as with the naked eye, we cannot know the sun except as just a glowing substance. We cannot know about the sun. So merely by some philosophical speculation, we cannot understand Lord Shri Krishna's transcendental varieties also. So there, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is explaining, because when we see the sun, we just see him as a glowing substance. Unless and until we go deep into the Shastras, we don't know that, no, this glowing substance, the rays are coming and the glowing substance is there, but it is actually a planet. And in that planet, there is a personality who is there. That is Sun God. So similarly, just by our mental speculation, we cannot understand the different varieties that Lord Shri Krishna has. His transcendental varieties cannot be understood. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is now explaining what is Brahman, what is Paramatma, and what is Bhagavan. So he's saying, in Brahman, he's explaining, Koti Koti Brahmande ye Brahmera Vibhuti Sei Brahma Govinda Rahaya Anga Kanti. So he's Anga Kanti, right? He's Anga Kanti. Lord Brahma is saying the opulences of the impersonal Brahman that is spread throughout the millions and millions of universes. That Brahman is nothing but he's just the Anga Kanti, is just the bodily effulgence of Govinda, of Lord Govinda. So he's Govindara Anga Kanti. That Brahman is just the Tanubha. In the verse we saw, right? The first line says Tanubha. Sorry. So that is just the bodily effulgence. Then he says the Antaryami feature, the Paramatma feature. Atmantaryami yara yoga shastre kaya seha govindera amsha vibhuti yehaya. Antaryami, Atmantaryami, that is the super soul, the indwelling super soul, and Atma Antaryami, that Yoga Shastras describe. Seha Govindera Amsha Vibhuti. He is just the plenary portion of that Supreme Govindas. Amsha Vibhuti, his opulence. So he's just, that Paramatma feature is just mere an opulence of Krishna's, Govinda's Amsha. That is his plenary expansion. That is situated in the heart of every living entity. But our Bhagwan is Shadaishwarya Purna. Saita Govinda, that same Govinda, whose Angakanti is Brahman, whose plenary expansion, Amsha, is the Paramatma. Sorry. That same Govinda is Sakshat Chaitanya Gosai. That Saita Govinda Sakshat Chaitanya Gosai. Jiva Nistarite Aiche Dayalu Aranai. That same Govinda comes as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, comes as Chaitanya Gosai. And for what? What is the reason? Jiva Nistarita Aiche Dayalu Aranai. That he comes to deliver the fallen souls. And that is his main reason. Dayalu Aranai. And there is no one more merciful than Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Even Krishna is transactional. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Right? Tam tataiva bhajameham. That as somebody surrenders, I'll reciprocate. Even Krishna is transactional. But our Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu is Dayalu Arunai. There is no one more magnanimous. There is no one more merciful than Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. How can we see that personality of Godhead? Can we see that? Can we understand that supreme personality of Godhead? Yes. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains. Bhakti yoge bhakta paya jahara darshana surya yena swaigar graha dekhe seva gana. By devotional service, only by the process of devotional service, the devotee, bhakta, pai yahara darshana, can obtain the darshan of that Bhagavan, Shadaishwarya Purna Bhagavan. Surya yena savigraha dekhe deva gana. And even just like the denizens of heaven, they can see the personality of the sun. Because sun god is also what? He is also one of the demigod. So all the people who are there in the heaven, they are able to see the sun god. They are able to see the personality. Similarly, we can also see that Shadaishwarya Purna Bhagavan Lord Shri Krishna, who is Nanda Sutta, who is the son of Nand Maharaj in Vraj. We can see him face to face, but only process is through the process of Bhakti Yoga. Through their service, devotees see the personality of Godhead, just as the denizens of heaven see the personality of the sun. Because the sun otherwise is, we can see him just as a glowing substance. But those who are in the heavenly planet, for them the sun is nothing but a sun god, Vivaswan. He is there. He is a personality. So those who walk on the path of knowledge and yoga, they worship only him in the feature of impersonal Brahman or Paramatma feature. But those who walk on the path of Bhakti Yoga can see him as a personality. But then the question comes, because here, okay, let's continue. Then who is Narayan? Say Narayana Krishnera Sarupa Bheda Eka hi Vigraha Kintu Akara Vibheda. That Narayan and Krishna, they are Swarup Abheda. There is no difference between their Swarup. They are the same personality of Godhead. Ekahi Vigraha. They both are same. Kintu Akara Vibheda. But there is one difference. They are identical, but there is difference in their bodily features. So it is also explained by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that same Krishna who is in Golok Vrindavan is at home. When somebody is at home, he is very easygoing. And that Krishna, when he is at his home, is his Golok Vrindavan. But when the same person is in office, he is with some kind of norms, some kind of etiquettes. There is awe and reverence. So similarly, when that same Krishna is in Vaikuntha, is Narayan. So they are the same personality of Godhead. They are identical, but they are different in their bodily features. Now, after explaining this, then Brahma actually, it comes, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami quotes this Brahma Vimohan Lila. He says that how Narayan and Krishna, they are identical at the same time they have Bheda in their bodily features. And what is that Bheda? That Bheda is that our Lord Shri Krishna is two-handed form and he holds a flute, whereas Narayan has four hands and he holds conch, wheel, mace and lotus, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, because he wants to tell the meaning of Narayan, how Narayan and Krishna, they both are identical. So he quotes this Brahma Vimohan Leela and he explains that after Brahma had offended Krishna by stealing his playmates and calves, he begged pardon from the Supreme Lord and prayed for his mercy. And Brahma then explains and he says, "Oh Lord, I took birth from the lotus that grew from your navel only. You are my father, you are my mother, and I am just like your son." And parents, their nature is that they never take seriously the offenses of their children. So you also please don't take my offense so seriously. And I beg pardon from you and ask you some benediction. So please forgive me for my offense for stealing your calves and stealing your cowherd boys. Then Krishna says, "Oh Brahma, what are you saying? I am your father and mother. I am a mere cowherd boy. How can I be your father and mother? How come you grew from the lotus that grew from my navel? No, 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 no. Your father is Narayan. I am a cowherd boy. How can you be my son?" Then Brahma replied and said, "No, you are Narayan. You are certainly Narayan." And then he gives the reasons. He gives 3 reasons and he equates that how Krishna is Narayan. And he says, first reason, first meaning he gave of Narayan. He says, just as the earth is the original cause and it's the shelter of all the pots that is made of earth. So the pots, the mud pots which are made, what is the cause? Earth is the cause. So you are the ultimate cause and shelter of all the living beings. नारा शब्दे कहे सर्वा जीवेर निश्चय आयन शब्दे ते कहे तारा आश्रय. So he's saying the Narayan, the word Narayan is made up of 2, Nara and Ayana. Nara refers to all the living beings together. So one living person is known as Nara. When you aggregate all the living beings, they become Nara. And Ayana refers to shelter. So he's saying, you are the refuge of all the living entities. Just like earth is the cause of all the earthen pots, similarly, you are the cause of all the living beings. So, and all the living beings actually take refuge in you. Therefore, you are Narayan. This is the first meaning that he gives. You are the primeval Lord. You are the original father of everyone. And then he explains the second meaning. In second meaning, he says that yes, there are many Purusha avatars. And these Purusha avatars, they are the protectors of the universes. Like we know that Karanodakshai Vishnu is the super soul of the entire material existence. Then Garbhodakshai Vishnu is the super soul of one universe. Kshirodakshai Vishnu is the super soul of all the living entities that are there, but belong to one universe. So that means every universe has its own Garbhodakshai Vishnu and Kshirodakshai Vishnu. But Karanodakshai Vishnu is the super soul of all the entire material existence. Because through his roam, through his pores of his body, all these universes are coming into being. So these are the Purusha avatars and they are the protectors of the universes. But it is all by your power only. So he gives the second meaning of Narayan. Narera ayana yate kara palana etavao tumi mula Narayana. The second meaning of Nara. Nara also refers to water or the fluid. Ayana means those who take shelter of that fluid. And that is our Karna Udakshai, Garbha Udakshai, Shira Udakshai. Sorry. Udakni refers to fluid. So our Karnadakshai Vishnu lies on Kaujal ocean, the sagar of Karana. Our Garbhodakshai Vishnu lies also in the ocean which is made out of his own sweat. And Kshirodakshai Vishnu lies on Shira Sagar, that is milk ocean. So all these 3 Vishnus, they are also lying on Nara, on some kind of fluid. And they are taking shelter. Narere ayana yate karaha palana. And while staying on that fluid, all these 3 different types of Vishnus, the Purusha avatars, they are doing some karaha palana. They are the protectors and they are doing their job. Ataiva thau tumi mula Narayana. But you are the ultimate Narayana because all these 3, they are carrying out the orders only by your empowerment. You are empowering, that's why they are able to perform these tasks. You are the original Narayan. Now he gives the third meaning. What is the third meaning he says? Narere aina yate karadarshana tahe to ho tumhi mula Narayana. Narayana. This also refers to seeing. Ayana means also to see. So you are the one because you are able to see everyone in this material world also and in the transcendental world also. You can see the living beings, their past, their present, and their future. You are the witness of their deeds. You know the essence of everything. Ayana also means the essence. And all the worlds exist because you oversee them. So therefore he says, Narere ayana yata kara darshana tahe to toi tumi mula narayana. You oversee the wanderings of all the living entities. You know their past and future. No one can live without your supervision. Therefore, you are the primeval Lord Narayana. So this way, Brahma, he gives the three reasons that how these three reasons of the main meanings, not reasons, actually the three meanings of the word Narayana, and he equates that this Narayan is non-different from Lord Shri Krishna. Seiti na janera tumi paramashraya, tumi mula Narayana ithe ki samshaya. So you are the ultimate shelter of these three plenary portions. That is Karanadakshay Vishnu, Garbhadakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu. And you are their Paramashra. You are the shelter of all these three Purusha avatars. Tumi Mula Narayana, and you are the ultimate primeval Narayana. Itahi ki Shamshaya, and there is no doubt about it. So this way, he explains about the three features of the three meanings of the word Narayana. Then he quotes that just how Krishna is the original candle. Deepa haite yache bahu deepe rajwalana mula eka deepa taha kariya ganana. That from one candle, another candle is lit. But original candle is always the original candle. There is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. There is no difference between Krishna and Narayana. There is no difference between Krishna and the three Vishnu avatars. When they are actually the amshas of that original Krishna. But just how when the candle is lit, and from that one candle you lit many candles, then after all the candles are lit, you don't able to find out the difference. But still the original candle is the original candle. From that original candle, all the other candles are lit up. So from one candle, others are lit, but still Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that I consider that one original candle, and that one original candle is our Lord Shri Krishna. Krishna eka sarvashraya, Krishna sarvadhama, Krishnera sharire sarva vishvera vishrama. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Shri Krishna is the shelter and is the abode of everything. All other universes rest in his body. So he is the original. Ete chamsa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. Srimad Bhagavatam also explains that, which is the Paribhasha Sutra of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, that Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Our Lord Shri Krishna is the original Bhagavan. In that case, then our Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, so he has explained about Brahman, about Paramatma, about Shadaishwarya Purna Bhagavan. After explaining this, he comes to the point of explaining that how Krishna is non-different from Narayan, and he gives the three meanings of Narayan and equates that Krishna is the Narayan. And then he explains about the three Shaktis, that there are three Shaktis of Lord Shri Krishna. And what are those three Shaktis? These three Shaktis are Antaranga Shakti, Tatastha Shakti, and Bahiranga Shakti. Chitta Shakti, Sarupa Shakti, Antaranga Nama, Tahara Vibhava Ananta, Vaikuntadi Dhama. The Chit Shakti is also called as Sarup Shakti, also called as Antaranga Shakti, or the Yogamaya, or the internal potency of the Lord. What is her job? Tahara Vaibhava Ananta Vaikuntadi Dhama. That Shakti sustains the kingdoms of God and its paraphernalia. She only has its jurisdiction in the spiritual world. That is Krishna's Antaranga Shakti. Maya Shakti Bahiranga, Maya Shakti Bahiranga Jagat Karana Tahara Vaibhava Ananta Brahmande Ragana. There is another Shakti, that is Maya Shakti, which is known as external energy or the Bahiranga Shakti. And she is the cause of innumerable universes with varied material potencies. Tahara Vaibhava Ananta Brahmande Ragana. Her jurisdiction is in all the Brahmandas, all the universes that are coming out from the pores of Karana Dakshai Vishnu. But there is another Shakti. Jiva Shakti Tathastakya Nahi Ara Anta Mukhyatina Shakti Tare Vibheda Ananta. There is another Shakti, Jiva Shakti, which is known as Tatastha Shakti, the marginal potency. Just like you go on a beach, you see some portion is covered only by the ocean, but some portion is just the land. But there is one portion which is sometimes land and sometimes covered by ocean. That is known as Tatastha. Tat means the border. Sometimes covered by the ocean water, sometimes it is just the land. That is Tatastha Shakti, that is Jiva Shakti. The marginal potency which is between these two, that is Sarupa Shakti, Chitta Shakti and Maya Shakti, Antaranga Shakti and Bahiranga Shakti, is the Jiva Shakti, which consists of numberless living beings. These are the three, Mukhya Tina Shakti. There are many other Shaktis, but broadly, the Lord's energies are divided into three, that is Antaranga, Bahiranga and Tatastha, which have unlimited categories and subdivisions. So we have many of the Antaranga Shaktis and Bahiranga Shaktis, but broadly explaining, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that there are these three Shaktis. And then he says that Krishna is the supreme. Krishna is the supervisor of all these three Shaktis. These three Shaktis also work under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, Krishna Sarva Ashraya, Parama Ishvara Krishna Sarva Shastrakaya. That personality of the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, is the original, is the primeval Lord, and is the source of all expansions, even all the Shaktis. And all the revealed scriptures accept Lord Shri Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Parama Ishvara Krishna Sarva Shastrakaya. All Shastras proclaim this, that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the original Lord. And that Supreme Lord Krishna, Sai Krishna Avatari Vrajendra Kumara, Apane Chaitanya Rupe Kaila Avatara. That Supreme Lord, who is non-different from Narayan, who is the supervisor of all the three Shaktis, who is the source of all the three Purusha avatars, who is the original candle, that Supreme Lord, that Vrajendra Kumar. Who is Vrajendra? Our Nand Maharaj. Vraj ke Indra hai wo. He is the king of Vraj, our Nand Maharaj. His Kumar, his son, Vrajendra Kumar. Sai Krishna Avatari Vrajendra Kumar, Apane Chaitanya Rupa Kaila Avatar. He himself has descended personally as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying that why have I explained you? I could have explained in just one line that entire verse, but I gave you the different features of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan, then I explained the 3 Shaktis, then I explained the 3 Purusha avatars, then I explained the meanings of Narayan. Why do I have to do this? Because he says, Siddhanta baliye chitta nakar alasa, iha haite Krishna lage sudrida manasa. Because a sincere student will not neglect this tattva vichar. A sincere student is not only interested in rasa vichar, but is also interested in tattva vichar. Because discussing such conclusions about the supreme absolute truth, iha haite Krishna lage sudrad manas, his mind is strengthened. With rasa, only the heart becomes. But still, if our mind is not fully convinced, then the mind will create lot of samshaya, lot of doubts. So first those doubts have to be removed. Then only the heart will be involved and we can understand the rasa vichar. So he's saying Siddhanta baliye chitta na karalas. When it comes to understanding the Siddhanta, the conclusions or the conclusive truth of the supreme absolute truth, then one should not do any kind of alas. One should not be lazy. One should not think, well, this subject is so boring. Why I have to study? Well, iha haite Krishna lage, because when we understand the supreme absolute truth, then sudrad manasa, then our mind will be strengthened and mind will be attached to Lord Shri Krishna. And that is the reason that Srila Prabhupada said, first understand the first 9 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, then jump on the 10th canto. Because 10th canto is just the rasa vichar. But first we have to understand the tattva vichar. We have to understand the tattva, the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. Only then we can understand the sweetness of the Supreme Lord. Now someone can say, well, that verse was only of Śrī Krishna Chaitanya. Why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is singing the glories of Krishna? Why glories of Krishna? Chaitanyera Prabhura Mahima Kahi Bare Tare, Krishnera Mahima Kahi Kariya Vistare. Just to enunciate the glories of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying, I have tried to describe the glories of Śrī Krishna in detail. Because Chaitanya Gosai e Tattva Nirupana Swayam Bhagavana Krishna Vrajendra Nandana. Why I am telling you the glories of Krishna? I have told you the glories of Krishna just to equate that the same Krishna who is the master of the 3 Shaktis, who is the source of the Purusha avatars, who is non-different from Narayan, who is Sarva Ashraya, that Krishna has come as the Supreme Lord, as Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is the son of King of Vraja. That ends the chapter number 2. Śrī Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yara Asha Caitanya-caritāmṛta kahe Krishna Dasa. Again, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ends this chapter by saying, praying at the lotus feet of Śrī Rupa and Raghunatha, always desiring the mercy, I, Krishnadas, narrate Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta, following in their footsteps. So we have covered 2 chapters. That means 3 Mangalacharan verses have been explained by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in detail in these 2 chapters. Next Monday onwards, we will continue with the 3rd Mangalacharan verse, and that will begin the 3rd chapter of Adi Lila of Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So we'll stop here. Again, I'm so sorry for some kind of confusion that was there in between. And I will make sure that this issue is resolved. And if resolving this issue takes time, then we can skip next Monday class, because I want the class to go smoothly. If it doesn't go smooth, then it also breaks my flow of words, my flow of thoughts also. and makes me difficult to come back to what I was saying, right? So I will try our best that in this entire week we are able to resolve these issues. But in case if it takes time, then we will skip next Monday class and we will give the technical team 2 weeks to resolve this issue, why it is happening. Because 2 classes simultaneously is not able to being held by Zoom. Zoom is not able to hold the 2 classes simultaneously. So what is the issue? That we will get it resolved. So stay tuned to WhatsApp messages, and hopefully in 1 week they will be able to resolve this issue. And if not, then unfortunately we have to skip next Monday's class also. So thank you all so much. Thank you for your kind participation. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for again joining when we got disconnected twice today. Thank you for everything. Really grateful, really indebted to all of you. It's because of all your presence. I am reading Caitanya-caritāmṛta in great detail, and I am able to make my notes. So all glories to all of you. Thank you so much. So we'll stop here. If we have some questions or comments, we can take up. Otherwise, we'll end. Sunil Prabhu, I can see you on the call. I hope that concept of 24 gurus about Shiksha gurus is clear. You
Yes,
asked me, but I still wanted to address to the entire team of devotees so that everyone can get the concept clear.
Yes, Mataji, it's clear. Thank you so much. Mataji, I have one question. In start, you said that Krishna is conditional and Mahaprabhu is not. But I think Mahaprabhu is also little bit conditional. It says like you have to chant Name Vujje Jevadaya Vaishnava Seva, then I will give you mercy. We understand.
Yeah, in that sense, you can say that Mahaprabhu is little transactional, Nityananda Prabhu is not, but Nityananda Prabhu still says, at least chant the name of Gauranga, whereas Prabhupada is not. You can go into all these contexts, and Prabhupada still has some conditions, whereas our spiritual masters are more merciful. So as we progress, Bhakta gets more merciful. But if in comparison to Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we see, then Mahaprabhu is more magnanimous than Lord Shri Krishna. In that sense, equating just Shri Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu is more magnanimous than Krishna. But if you take the entire series and our parampara, then we'll find that our spiritual master is more magnanimous than Srila Prabhupada, then the Shat Goswamis, then Nityananda Prabhu, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that sense. Hope it helps.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay. Anything else? Okay. If not, then we will end. I've seen lots of messages. Thank you. Accept it with my folded hands and pass it on to my spiritual master, because without his mercy, I was never ever able to touch this Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Forget about speaking on Caitanya-caritāmṛta. So it's all the mercy of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and all our acharyas who have commented on this beautiful scripture and explained us in such a wonderful way. So glories to all of them. So thank you all so much. We will stop here. Again, I repeat, stay tuned to WhatsApp messages to know whether we'll have class next Monday or not. But at the same time, we'll keep praying that the technical team may be able to resolve this issue in 1 week. Okay. Thank you so much. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhaivacha
Vaishnavyo namo namah.
Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Ki jai.
की जय। श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय। श्री चैतन्य की जय। ऑल वैष्णवास की जय।
हरे कृष्ण।
माता जी की जय।